little place we stayed, and there was a figure at the entrance of the lunchroom. He was very short and fat, but he had a big penis sticking out in front
Oh.
that was also short and fat.
In the South Pacific?
Yeah. Yeah, where people don't worry about body parts so much there.
Yeah, it's a different culture completely.
Oh, yeah, and having a child out of wedlock proves that you can produce a child so you're more desirable as a wife once you've proven that you're productive, that you can have children.
Really?
Yes. And that child is given to an older couple
To take care of?
to keep.
Wow.
It's given away. Then you're more desirable to men because you prove you can give them children.
That is a completely different culture.
Yeah.
20 minutes.
What else do you think about from your trip to the South Pacific? I haven't seen the slides.
Well, that one stands out. You know, funny. Well,
No pun intended.
going to Tahiti really disappointed me. The roads were dusty and dirty, and there were papers all around. And oh, this is supposed to be the glamorous South Pacific. Oh, it's junk.
Right? Didn't you stay in a tree house somewhere or something? Was that no?
Oh, that was in Africa.
Oh, okay, in Africa.
That was the same one. It's a very famous one, and it took a long time to book ahead to get there. And we went on a tour that took it in, and of course these tour directors had a certain number of tree houses already
Reserved.
reserved. So it was very interesting. It was up on like telegraph poles, and there must have been not too many rooms. Probably only had about 50 people for the night, and the rooms were very small. They were like a boat. They had a bunk, one bunk on either side with a little table in between and a window. And the window had a screen that had holes in it about 4 inches wide. It wasn't screening for, it was screening
Bugs.
for bugs. It was screening for animals.
Right?
It was a long, hard day, and to get there, you had to leave your big suitcase in a hotel in town, and then you were allowed to take an overnight bag, and you got on the bus with your overnight bag and driven out to this place in the middle of the jungle, and a warrior, a soldier came to greet the bus, and he had a loaded rifle. And he escorted you from the bus to the stairs going up. It was 2 stories high, going up to this tree house that was done in all natural wood. Nothing
Wow.
had any paint on it, or it was unfinished wood. And it had a wide porch around it. And they said the rooms were very small, and you would just take in your overnight bag. I think we were allowed to stay 2 nights. That was all anybody could stay, unless maybe you're a diplomat or something. Or as a matter of fact, the Queen of England was staying there at the time that her father died, and she was called home to England to be crowned queen.
Wow.
It was that famous a place.
Right?
She and her husband had been there.
So was that in the middle of nowhere, essentially?
Yeah, it was out in the middle of the jungle. It
Right?
was the middle of the jungle, and there was just this one road that came in with one bus at a time, and that was the only thing the road was used for. Was just this. In fact, I think it was a dirt road going, and this place was at the end of the road, and the bus just turned around and went back to the hotel where the rest of your luggage was staying.
Were there monkeys or anything there?
There were baboons, and the baboons were all around sitting on this porch. And they were pretty tame. They were used to the tourists. And the guy that was there said, now be careful. Don't put anything down or the baboons will pick it up. Do not let go of your camera. A baboon will pick it up. And then we looked at the treetops. The trees were even higher than this building was. And there was film decorating the treetops where the monkeys
We're having some
where
fun.
the baboons had taken the film out of the cameras, thrown the cameras down. there was a wide open dirt space, and in the middle of the dirt space was a small pond, and then there was a salt lick, and this building had been built where the pond and the salt lick was, because that was a crossroads for natural animals that came to get a drink of water, and they wanted the salt lick. It was already created by the animals
Right.
when the hotel was built there. And all night long, you heard animals come, and there were lights on at certain places so you could see the animals, but you weren't allowed to
Venture out or anything.
venture out after dark where the animals were underneath. But they had some lights underneath the porches, and you could walk out all night long. There was different animals coming out of the woods and going over to the salt lick, and they were howling all night. That it wasn't a quiet night at all. There was something going on all the time. You really didn't intend to go to sleep. I mean, it was, and so it was time to go to bed. No, it wasn't. It was when we first got there, and we got our room, and we were sitting down on the edge of these bunks, pretty tired, and we took out a bottle of vodka, and there was some water in the room, I think, and some ice cubes and a glass, 2 glasses with water. So we dumped out the water, put the ice cubes in, poured ourselves a vodka, and then we had some crackers and cheese. So I spread the crackers and cheese while Ernie was getting the vodka ready. And then we turned around to click our glasses and have a drink. We looked over, the crackers and cheese were gone.
Wow.
And the hairy arm was just disappearing out the window with them.
Wow.
It was one of the baboons.
Wow.